Hello YouTube, I am back with a different type of video for you guys today. In this video, this is kind of like a cool video. In this video, I'll be showing you the remains of the abandoned CN Meaford Sub, which ran all the way up to Collingwood from like Innisful or maybe even further than that. As you can see, we're right here right now in Stayner, and if you take a look, that used to be a little runaround track. As one of the last customers on the line was like right up in here. But anyway, so in this video I'll be exploring the abandoned railway line. Like the train trail was right here. I'll be exploring it. As you can see, this is where the track starts to get covered with the bushes and whatnot. Last train came down here on July 14th, 2011. That marked the last day of Barrie Collingwood railway service in the town of Collingwood. So going all the way back to the 90s, in the late 90s, CN wanted to abandon the lines up here, but the town of Barrie and Collingwood wanted to keep the line active for the local industry, so they got together and found a short line operator, the Barrie Collingwood Railway, to run the line for the industries. That train still runs on the Barrie section of the line, but this section here, the businesses at this end weren't really using it anymore, so July 14th, 2011 marked the day the last train came into town, lifted a handful of tank cars, and left for good. And then we went that way back to Utopia. So anyway, I guess right now I'll get started on the little tour thing for you guys. Just thought this would be a cool little video for you. So now I am following the abandoned railway line on the trail up. Stayner is back there. Here's a better look at the abandoned lines. Maybe this will help give you perspective as to how overgrown they are now. This is pretty rare in Canada for this to happen, for the railway to just leave the line in place for years and years and years. Usually they rip it up, but from what I was told, the town of Collingwood put this line up for sale, but it's still here today. So, yep, as you can see, we got some trees growing on it down there. See, we got some trees on it. So I guess I'll continue following the tracks up. So now I am continuing my bike ride up the tracks. As you can see, they're pretty much hidden over here in between all the trees and bushes. I'm continuing the ride up the trail. We're approaching a crossing where maybe you can see the tracks even more. The crossing is like just up here. Almost there. Might want to skip ahead a couple of seconds. There are the tracks again. Here are the tracks even more. And then here's where they end up at the crossing, which has been paved over, and they continue. So, yep, here are the tracks again. Look at all the bushes going in between them. And I guess I'll continue up this way following the tracks. So now we are past the crossing, and just look how overgrown the tracks get in here. As you can see, you can still see the rails, but just look at how overgrown they get as I bike along. Just watch. See all these trees up growing over the tracks? Wow. You cannot even see the lines anymore. But yeah, I'm still following the tracks up. But wow, look at these. Yep, they're still there. I can see a little bit of the rails, but yeah, I'm sure you could too if you look really closely. You can barely see the rails. There are some trees on them. But yeah, here are the rails right here. Just look at how overgrown they are. We got this tree on the tracks. We got a tree growing right here. Wow. Okay, just thought I should show you how overgrown they get, and I'll continue onward to Collingwood. Okay, continuing on with the trail. As you can see, here are some of the abandoned lines, some more with some trees growing over top. We got another crossing up ahead. So, yeah, I just thought I should continue to show you guys the line, like how overgrown it is now. And we are almost at the crossing. I can see one of the cross bucks are still present. Now we're at another crossing. The crossbuck is still here. This one has had the big sign at the top removed. The tracks are covered up with dirt here, and they continue on. So I guess I'll continue on following the tracks as well. Now we're continuing on. Okay, talk to you in a bit. Okay, some more of the abandoned tracks. They don't look too overgrown here. Here's a behind view. And now they're starting to get overgrown again. Okay, talk to you in a bit. The tracks also have lots of private laneways like this one, I'd say, on it. I'm not too sure if it's a private laneway or what it is, but it comes from over there. We've got another crossing up ahead, which I'll show you, but besides to tell you that this line has a lot of private laneways on it. So I guess I'll take you to the crossing up ahead. Okay, here's the crossing. If you look down here, you can catch a little glimpse of the abandoned rails. But this guy too, crossbuck is still in. The tracks have been paved over, so I guess we'll continue on. If city buses ran here, they'd still have to stop here, as it's required by law to stop. Even if the tracks are gone, but the crossbucks are still present, they'd still have to stop here. So, guess I'll continue on. So, continuing on down the tracks. Tracks run parallel to the trail for quite a while. Okay, we got a crossing coming up, so I'll talk to you when we're there. Now we are at the crossing. As you can see, the rails are still present here, and the crossbuck is still up here as well. So, just thought I should show you guys this. Rails are still in, buses would still have to stop here. Got the crossbuck, so alright, I guess we're gonna continue on. Continuing on towards Collingwood. Tracks here aren't too overgrown, they don't seem. Except for the trees are coming up right here. The trees are like on the tracks. And now here comes a little, I say this is a little private laneway again. Looks like the dirt has completely covered the tracks up over here. The tracks then covered in dirt. But yeah. I guess we'll continue on this way towards Collingwood. Now, here's an abandoned railway bridge. I can see tracks come over here. We got a couple of fissures down there. And tracks continue on right up to here. As you can see, that trail continues there. I guess I'll continue following them. There's the bridge we were just on. Here's an abandoned rail crossing, which had the crossbucks removed, so buses wouldn't necessarily have to stop here anymore. But rails are still in place, and I guess we're gonna keep following the tracks up. Rails are completely buried here. Yeah, totally buried in this area. I guess we'll continue on to Collingwood. We're not too far now. There are the rails again. We aren't far away. Okay, here comes another crossing which still has one of the crossbucks at least. Rails are still in place. I believe the next crossing would be the popular Sideroad one just outside of Collingwood. So, yeah, we're almost there, and I guess I'll continue on into Collingwood. And yeah, tracks are really overgrown once again in this area. Like really overgrown. 7 years since the last train came through. Now, coming up ahead is pretty much the only spot where you can like clearly see the rails. Maybe the region did something where this part of the line doesn't look too overgrown. I think so. We got like a little house there, and we got a sign. Then it starts to get overgrown again. I'll give you a behind look. Okay. And now over here the tracks start to get overgrown again. That's probably the most visible part of the line. I'd say. And here comes up the crossing. I believe this is the popular side road crossing. I believe here it comes. There are the tracks again. Got a plank of wood in the middle. And yes, right here should be the popular side road crossing. Tracks are paved over. I guess I'll continue on over there. So now we are past popular side road. Tracks are all gone here. I guess so now we're in Collingwood. I guess I'll continue on. We got a little more more trackage to cover. So I guess I'll continue on. So in this small portion of the trail, quite a bit of the tracks has been removed in this small portion, and now the trail is kind of realigned. So now the tracks are on the south side of the trail. As you can see, they're right here, and the rails were cut off right here for this big kind of construction area. So I'm guessing I'll continue on a little bit more. Look at how overgrown the rails are here with all the trees on top. Wow. So I should show you guys that. Here comes up a little trailway where you can see some rails. This is like, I'd say maybe a private entry or something for a school, but yeah, rails are still here. Continuing on. So I guess I'll continue on as well. Now this is the end of the tracks for the trail. As you can see, one of the rails have been trimmed right there. Then the right hand rail ends right up here. And here comes another crossing which has been paved over. I think this is Collins Street, I may be wrong. But yeah, trail goes that way. Tracks go this way. There used to be a rail crossing here. And yeah, tracks go this way up into the last few industries. I think it was a Canadian Mist Distillers. They're the last customer up here. The tracks curve that way. Maybe I can follow the tracks a little more, but we'll see. So this is where the trail ends.